This time on Second Chance Ohana.
Aloha guys! Today we have this fun console table that you received for free from a neighbor who is moving. And I am so excited about this piece now, but 3 months ago when they gave it to us, we had no vision for it. I mean, look at these scallops. But we now have a vision and a plan for how to modernize it and make it boho. So stick around as we give this baby a second chance. Aloha, I'm Dani. In 2016, I moved from Maui to Arizona with my husband so we could be closer to my mom and pops who lived just a few miles away. On our journey, Kyle and I expanded our family by adopting 3 tweens and Bartley, who helps make sure everyone feels like part of the Ohana. Mom and I love to hunt for used furniture and restore it because it's so much fun to be creative, use power tools, and of course, make money. And because like people, sometimes furniture just needs a second chance.
Yeah, so what are you thinking for hardware?
Oh, so you know Butch and Bulldog on Instagram? I showed you some of their pictures.
Yeah?
They make their own sometimes. Ooh, that was gross. Out of round wood dowels, and then they use like jute on it, and then they screw it in, like they just set it here and then screw it in from the back, and it's practically free and really cute and totally has that boho look.
Oh.
So I'm all, because I don't think we're gonna be able to sell this for a ton of money.
No.
So I'm all for, cheap or free,
Yes.
because it would just cost the round piece of wood.
You know what? If you get this rag wet, I'll help.
Hi, Bartley boy.
Surprise!
What are you doing? Just smelling all the cleaners, huh?
Oh, care and cleaning instructions right in here. I never read that stuff. Does anyone?
Okay, quick questions, ladies, and any men who are watching. I have the feeling you're mostly ladies, though. Have you ever cleaned any of your furniture before that, you all? I have never cleaned a dresser. And sometimes some of the things we get are so dirty, it makes me wonder how dirty my own are at home. So now I'm kind of feeling like I should probably go clean some of my furniture. As
your mother, I say, go home, clean out the inside of your drawers. Then I guess I better do my own.
I was like, I'm really not going to go do that until I sell it someday. But, the idea is there. All right.
Whew. I think we got it. Now that Dani's off to work, I can start the real fun, sanding. First, let's take these drawers back to raw wood. The old varnish on this was really tough, so this took a while. I started off with 80 grit sandpaper, then I switched to 120 and then 180, and finally I ended it with the 220. I also sanded the sides down to get them ready for stenciling. So hey you guys, I wanted to tell you about a friend of mine out on YouTube. Her name's Marissa. Go check out her videos over on Miss Flips, and she has one that really goes into sanding in a lot of detail on how to do it properly. I'm going to put the link for that down in the description below. Well, finally done. That took about 2 hours, but it turned out so pretty. We had this stencil from another project that we did a couple of months ago, and it is so easy to use. It's from Redesign with Prima. It comes in rolls and it's sticky, so you just stick it on your board And then you stipple the paint on, and look at me go. Woo! So the trick with this stenciling is you want to use a very light touch with your paint. If you use too much paint, it's liable to seep underneath the stencil, and you don't want that. And the other trick is, while it's still wet, you want to remove that stencil. Otherwise, it's going to pull the dried paint with it. Pops asked me why we stenciled the sides of the drawers instead of the fronts. And honestly, I guess it was because we wanted to keep the focus of the drawer fronts on those handles we were making and not on the stencil. But we also wanted to create a little bit of fun detail on the sides of those drawers. To protect the finish on the drawers, I'm using Modern Masters Dead Flat Varnish, and I just love this stuff. One, it doesn't change the color of the wood at all. After it dries, it's perfectly flat and it still looks like raw wood. The other thing I like about it is it doesn't show any brush strokes, so it's really easy to use, and you don't have to be super careful with it when you're applying it. Okay, time to get rid of those scallops. We did get some requests for more camera time for Pops, so here he is. And first he's going to measure out a straight line where the scallops need to be cut. And then he takes the jigsaw and just cuts away. Wow, nice shoes, Pops. All right, this man owns about 30 pairs of tennis shoes. So no joke, he's just really into them, but those are very nice. So we get to say goodbye to the scallops and hello, clean lines. This table is solid pine wood. I absolutely love pine because it's cheap and I just really like the look of it. But it is a really soft wood and it dents and scratches very easily. So this table is about 10 to 15 years old, and there are small dents all over it. But since we're going for a relaxed boho look, I only filled the larger dents. No sense making myself crazy with all this teeny tiny dents everywhere else. On the tabletop, I ended up using the Modern Masters Dead Flat Varnish, and I did about 4 coats, but between each coat, I lightly sanded with 320 sandpaper by hand, just to get out the roughness. Look at our huge Mexican bird of paradise. I just love this bush, and so do the butterflies, and the mosquitoes, and the bees, and the flies. But it is gorgeous, and it's right outside our garage door. I don't always use primer on my pieces, but in this case, we did have the darker wood, and I wanted really good adherence, and I wanted good coverage because we're using white paint over this. After finishing the priming, I did a quick sand just to get off any little imperfections, and then started painting. And we used the Sherwin-Williams Emerald paint in white, and I ended up having to use 3 coats of this. The one good thing about the Sherwin-Williams Emerald paint is that it is an enamel, so it dries rock hard after it has time to cure, and there's absolutely no need for any top coats. So satisfying to just peel off that frog tape at the very end, because I know it's almost done and my lines turned out pretty clean.
Okay, well, I was at work this week. You pretty much finished this whole console table on your own.
Yeah, you need to stop working so much, Dani.
I agree. Let's make that happen.
Okay.
Okay, so you're practically done. What's left?
I'd like to put some white wax on top of the pine.
Oh, yeah,
Because
it's
it's a little yellow, yeah. And we need to make the handles.
Oh, yeah.
So are you
Cheap,
ready?
easy handles. Yeah, let's go finish it off.
Okay. The handles were actually very simple. We just took a 1-inch diameter dowel, cut it into about 4-inch sections, painted them white, and then glued on some twine just to kind of make them look really cute. To attach the handles, Dani started off and drilled a couple of small pilot holes into the drawer fronts and also into the handles. Then she took a countersink drill bit and made a couple of holes in those drawer fronts. And she did that so that when she screwed in the screws, they would be flush with the surface.
So, we finished the console table.
Yay!
And, Parkley, are you excited? That was our quickest flip yet, right? 9 hours of work? Mm-hmm. And we finished it in less than a week, mostly because you did it all while I was at work. Do you remember what it looked like before? Let's take a look. And look at it now. It's so boho and so cute. So Mom, what's your favorite part about this console table?
I love the straight lines on it. I love that Pop cut those scallops off, and now it looks boho instead of farmhouse.
Yeah, those scallops really gave us a mental block for a few months. It just sat and waited while we waited for inspiration, which came from Butch and Bulldog on Instagram. Check them out, we'll link them below. This is their signature style, the wood and white and boho. Even the handles that we made were inspired by them. So let's talk numbers. We got this piece for free from your neighbors who were moving. We only put $20 of materials into this, between the paint, primer, sandpaper, the wood dowels. So really inexpensive project, and we're gonna list it for $225. And if we get that, then we've made $200 profit for about 9 hours of work.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was sitting pretty. It was a quick flip, less than a week. Pretty happy with that. So if you like what you saw today, make sure to subscribe. Please like this video, and we'd love it if you'd leave comments. We love reading them, and she does such a great job at responding. So that's all for today. Aloha. Let's look back at what it looked like before.